Christians are divided. There are others who are following the Old Testament tradition. Others are following the New Testament tradition. But these also are conflicting, because those who talk about circumcision as coming from God, it is God who told Abraham, you'll be circumcised. If they accept that, then Abraham was circumcised when he was an old person. And he was circumcised together with his family, with his children, the male. So, if the church is going to follow that, can a parent be circumcised with the children? It can't be accepted. So already there's a problem. So they circumcise in a mature age. But then others follow the New Testament. They say, we are now Christians from Christ, New Testament. Well, it is written that when Jesus was born, after some time, which was the Jewish tradition, the new Jewish tradition now, that it was on the 8th day. The 8th day, the parents of Jesus took him to the temple. And in the temple, they were received by one of the chief priests. He's called Simeon. And Simeon praised God for having seen the Messiah. And he was circumcised. And that was 8 days old. So when did it change from adult, from Abraham, to 8 days old in Jesus' time? But again, if you go to the old tradition, Adam was circumcised. But come down to David. David was a Jew. He was a king. He wasn't circumcised. So we have Jews who are circumcised and Jews who are not circumcised.
At that time?
At that time, Old Testament. We are coming to New Testament. Then we also have another dilemma, because we now have Jews and Gentiles. Both of them live in Israel. They believe in the same God. They have the same tradition for so many years. So Peter, one of the disciples, preaches to the Jews for them to embrace Christianity. Paul preaches to the Gentiles, those who live in Israel and far, and they are embracing Christianity, and they have to belong to this. So there is a conflict. The way now we have conflict in boarding schools, when you are circumcised or not in Kenya. Yeah, those who are circumcised look at you as lower. Even in the earlier church, there was that conflict. You are all Christians, yes, but we are circumcised. You are not. So when you are going for prayers, you should sit at the back. We have to give direction, you not. And this brings a conflict between Peter and Paul. And they have what we call the First Council of Jerusalem. So this is in the Acts of the Apostles. So the First Council of Jerusalem is where Peter and Paul have to meet and agree. And I think it's in the book of Galatians, if you kind of can Google that, where now Peter says the circumcision of the body is useless if you're not circumcised in the heart. So the church here, again, has to be like, which is more important? Is it physical circumcision, or is it circumcision of the heart? And they have to really explain that again.